Good afternoon, good day to wherever you are in this moment. I hope you're doing great. Welcome to my podcast. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Alexandra. And before I start, um, I wanted to give you all an English episode because I just didn't think it was fair for any of my, you know, English speaking community who also want to hear and learn about spirituality and healing and finding their purpose. Um, in a nutshell, that's what my podcast is about. But the truth is, when I sat down to film episode one last week, it all just naturally came out in Spanish. The original plan was for it to be in Spanglish, a mixture of both languages, with subtitles interwoven to always translate what I was saying in that moment. But I think that I'm just going to go along with the flow, see what happens, see what comes out naturally. Um, and if there is at any kind of point in time, if there is a point in time where um, my audience wants a translation of the Spanish or the English of whatever I've said, then I'm always happy to, you know, go into further detail and conversation because there's so much to share. I have so much to share. Anyone who sits down with me knows that I just don't shut up about these subjects. I'm very passionate about them. And yeah, I don't think it gets any easier filming. Um, it's very funny because I tried to redo my episodes that I had already filmed, and I think I was sat down for about 3 hours redoing them, and redoing them, and I ended up going with the first take that I ever did, um, which is kind of crazy. So I know that it's a lot better for me to just relax, sit down, go with the flow, and let everything come out naturally. Um, we pressure ourselves so much into fitting a certain mold or into trying to say the perfect thing that it doesn't come out very organically if you focus so much on the perfection. And that's something that I'm always kind of fighting myself with. Um, but yeah, I guess I'm happy to say that I'm not as nervous as I was at the very beginning. Now it's so happy and so excited. In typical Alexandra fashion, I'm filming a last minute English version episode of my podcast. It's going to be more or less a translation. It won't always be word for word, um, because there is a lot that I feel like I missed out in that first episode, that I didn't get to share or say because the nerves were getting the better of me. I was seeing the timer on the video and thinking, oh my god, I don't know what more to say. So um, I just now I feel like I'm a bit more relaxed. It is a bit more different because I'm not doing it in front of a camera, so I'm not worrying about what I look like or if a little fat is spilling out in one place or whatever it is. Just as women, these are the types of things that do go through our mind 24/7. Um, but all of that aside, I am so excited to finally be sharing this project that I've been working on for several months. Well, the whole idea first came to me in February 2024, like a little seed in my mind, kind of saying, oh, Alex, should we start a podcast? Um, and that thought kept buzzing around in my head. It felt like a calling in my heart. Um, and I had a lot of signs within that period of time kind of pointing me towards starting a podcast about spirituality. Um, and everything that I've experienced over this past year and a half has brought me to this moment. And I'm honestly just so happy to be here. So, the name of the podcast is Wonderland. It's inspired by Alice in Wonderland. After going through some tough times that completely flipped my world upside down, I had to fall in order to get back up again. That's when I started noticing like signs images, messages related to Alice's world and what she discovered after her own fall. At one point, I had the idea, the project, but I didn't know what to name it. I wanted something catchy, something you would hear and think, wow, that sounds cool. What's that about? I knew the name would come to me through intuition, um, something I'd feel deep in my chest and in my stomach. Um, and it did. One day while I was on holiday in Ibiza with my friend, I had just watched the Alice in Wonderland movie over the weekend before flying out. Um, and it just really resonated with me in that moment how she would speak to her cat and how they would respond. That's literally me at home with my cats. And there's a moment in the movie where Alice says, if I had a world of my own, everything would be nonsense. Nothing would be what is because everything would be what isn't. That line really stuck with me. Around that time in Ibiza, my friend and we visited a holistic shop filled with crystals, a lot of sun and moon imagery, um, all of like the little things that I absolutely love and adore. Um, Signs saying trust in the universe. Um, and as I was kind of looking along in the shop, in the corner, I noticed that there were some silk scarves. And so I looked closer and I started looking at all of the different patterns, even considering kind of like, oh, this is just like really cute. Like, I want to get one. And that's when I noticed a pattern with Alice in with the Alice in Wonderland imagery, all of like the illustrations, and everything kind of relating to Wonderland. And I thought, oh my gosh, like I just watched the movie. This must be a sign. So I walked out of the shop with a little spark in my heart, and I felt like I was on the right path, like I was in alignment. And then I looked up, and there on the wall was my favorite number, 13. And I said to myself, oh my gosh, this is it. This is the confirmation I needed. And that's how Wonderland was born. Um, but it also holds a deeper meaning. Wonderland is a place of wonder, a place where thoughts are free to roam, um, wonder to imagine, to explore, land, a space, a world. So to me, Wonderland represents a space where thoughts, growth, and discovery meet. Um, and we're here to experience this 3D earthly experience. So we have so much more that we can connect to, that is out there. So I want to kind of build that bridge for everybody. Okay, so before I begin diving deep into topics on the podcast, I want to say thank you to all of the people that have supported me and pushed me to get here. To my friends who have messaged me asking, hey, how's the podcast coming? Um, you helped me keep myself accountable, and helped me push past my fears. Journey hasn't been easy, especially facing myself. And that's what makes this so special for me. I couldn't have done it without the friends and family who walked alongside me, practiced with me, brainstormed with me, turned my living room into a photo studio, and now into a podcast studio. Um, and for me, it's so important, to thank the people who believed in me. It made a huge difference. And thank you as well to my friends and family watching this right now, and who have kind of clicked to the link thinking, what's this crazy girl up to now? Um, I'm here to tell you about raising our level of consciousness, to find our purpose, to explore all of the different ideas that are out there that kind of come together. Um, One of the reasons I'm so nervous to share this message is because, I'm kind of filming myself, and putting yourself out there is scary. I know I have to talk about being vulnerable and vulnerable parts about my life, where I've lived through so many different things, but I know that vulnerability is how we truly connect to each other, and it's how my message will reach you. I do this with so much love. It's something that comes from my heart, and I just genuinely love helping other people. It's where I find my happiness. To leave every person a little better than how I found them. I have so much light and love to give and to share. That's part of the purpose that I've discovered through this purpose. I mean, discovered through this podcast and through my voice. Um, I know I'll be able to help those that want to walk this journey with me and to like transform our lives. And that doesn't mean I know everything. I don't know anything. None of us do. I'm still learning every day. One of the hardest parts about starting this podcast was that I didn't feel ready. I'd compare myself to friends on similar paths who seemed further ahead, like she knows so much more, and I'm only a quarter of the way there or halfway there. But everyone's journey is so different. We can't compare. Um, we each give what we can when we can. So we have to release that fear and just leap forward, trusting that what we have to say matters, because it does. Um, and I know what I want to share is important, especially for my Latino community. Um, that's a big audience of who my message is um, for us to all find our purpose and awaken our consciousness. All I ask is to keep an open mind. Don't shut yourself off with thoughts like, "Oh, but I wasn't taught this way," or "This is my or my religion or belief." I'm here to tell you that everything is connected. That's what I've discovered. How science gives us physical evidence that we see with our eyes. Religion brings us the messages of light and peace from those who have come before us, the ascended masters who have walked this earth. Over time, their messages may have changed or been reinterpreted, but the core is the same. And the core is to be happy. We have to look inward and help others become the best versions of themselves, just like we want to be. So that's what Wonderland is about. And also, wait, before I end, I want to explain why I'm speaking Spanglish. I feel like I express myself best. I feel like I express myself best using both languages. Most of what I've learned on my spiritual journey has been in English, but I'm Colombian, born in London. Spanish was my first language at home. It's the language of my roots, my culture, what I was raised with, and what was instilled with me from when I was very little. Um, so being able to speak both languages feels like part of my purpose, bridging these two worlds and showing that there isn't just one way. Our wisdom goes way back, far beyond what we were taught in the 1800s and 1900s when Spanish arrived in Gran Colombia. So I'll be switching between both languages in this podcast. Sometimes I forget a word in either language, so bear with me, please. There will be subtitles so that you can follow along. And if you ever want more episodes in English, or if you prefer one topic in Spanish or want a translation over a specific idea, just let me know. I'm here to keep sharing, explaining, and learning with you. So, thank you for being here with me today. This is just the beginning, and stay tuned.